जय जय बलदेव जय भद्रा जय शिव संजीवनी। ओ जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय शिला प्रभुपाद। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नस्तप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, fifth canto, 12th chapter, verse number 12. रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति न चेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति नाचेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति नाचेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। Devotees.
गणैत तपसा न याति नाचे जया निर्वपनादृहद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये
छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये
विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्
रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति न चेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति न चेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति न चेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति न चेजया निर्वपणाद् गृहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्। रहुगणायेत तपसा न याति न चेजया विरहप्रणाद्ग्रहाद्वा न छन्दसा नैव जलाग्निसूर्ये विना महत्पादरजोऽभिषेकम्. Hare Krishna. So, read translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Without bathing in the dust from the feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the Lord through concentration of mind, performance of sacrifices, distributing food, building shelters for destitute, studying the Vedas, or performing austerities in the water, fire, or the sun. You can repeat. Yatra uttama shloka gunānuvādah prastūyate gramya katha vigātah निषेव्यमाणो नुदीनां मुमुक्षोर् मतिं सतिं यच्छति वासुदेवे. Who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into the existence of the Absolute Truth abandons this idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva. Purport. The symptom of pure devotees are described in this verse. The pure devotee is never interested in material topics. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has strictly prohibited his devotees to talk about worldly matters. Gramya varta na kahibe. One should not indulge in talking unnecessarily about the news of the material world. One should not waste time in this way. This is a very important feature in the life of a devotee. A devotee has no other ambition than to serve Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Krishna consciousness movement was started to engage people 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord and in His glorification. The students in this institution engage in the cultivation of Krishna consciousness from 5 in the morning to 10 at night. They actually have no opportunity to waste their time unnecessarily by discussing politics, sociology, and current events. These will go their own way. A devotee is concerned only with serving Krishna positively and seriously. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desatarini. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा. Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees for the Saturday morning IYF class. And I seek blessings of all the devotees so that I can speak something in glorification of the Lord and His devotees and for purification of my heart. Especially Prashant Prabhu is very senior to me. Still he's humbly sitting here. So in this particular discussion, actually today our topic of discussion is Sajjan Sangha, the association, the positive effect of association of great devotees actually. So that is the topic of discussion. So I will come to the context of this, but before that I'll tell you one very interesting story. This is actually from Narad Puran. Narad Puran is also one of the Puranas, by the way. So this particular discussion takes place between Narad Muni and the king of Sovira. So Narad Muni, you know, he's stalwart preacher. Everywhere he goes, he just try his preaching. So he was telling actually this particular king also, the king of Sovira, about how Krishna consciousness is solution to all the problems. And that the king was saying that, no, I have to give punishment actually to the people. If I don't give them punishment, how they will reform? So punishment is the way that actually people can be reformed. Then Narad Muni tells him this very beautiful story actually. So once there was a hunter actually. So this hunter was very cruel. Just as you have heard many times actually that, Mrigari was also a hunter. Then Ratnakar Daku, who became eventually Valmiki, he was also a hunter, correct? So this particular person was also a hunter. His name was Gulika. The name of the hunter was Gulika. So with Gulel, in Hindi there is something called as Gulel actually. So with that actually he will injure or he will pierce the eyes of the actually animal, whichever animal is there. And then actually very brutally he will kill actually those animals. And that was his profession by the way. But he would rejoice in doing that actually. First he'll pierce the eyes of the animal, innocent animals, and that will give him lot of joy and happiness. And he was too much greedy for wealth actually. So he'll kill these animals like this, and then he will remove their skins, he'll remove their nails, and he'll remove their, bones and those things, and he'll sell in the market, and he'll make lot of money. Then someday somebody told him that actually, why are you just killing these animals and things like that? Why don't you go to the city and loot people there actually? There are a lot of gold, lot of wealth, lot of things are available. Then he asked, which is the place where I can get maximum gold, maximum wealth? Tell me, otherwise I'm going to kill you. So the person out of fear, he said, my lord, and now I only became the object of his killing. So he said, see, the only place where you will get lot of wealth is the temple of Lord Vishnu. During those days, banks and all were not there actually. In the temples, actually, really lot of wealth was there. Now also you might have heard about, how much gold they found out in, Anant Padmanabh temple in, Kerala. Then similarly, recently they have opened some underground house in some rooms in this one also. um, Jagannath temple, Puri also. And even in North India, also Srinathji temple, there is one very old temple of Lord, Krishna. There also they found out lot of gold and things like that. So he said that, lot of gold is there. And you know that Muhammad Ghazni also, he also looted, Somnath temple. For how many times? 17 times. So much gold he looted actually that he would make, line of camels holding, on their back gold, and 5 more kg gold if you put on the back of the camel will sit down. And I come from, the background where we have really camels, and I really know how much a camel can really take the weight. It can carry actually two bullocks or two bulls, they carry that much one camel alone can carry actually. That much load actually the camel can carry. So he would load actually those animals, those camels with gold and he will carry. So all of these people actually they looted these things from where? Temples only. So he also got idea that I will go and loot the temple only. So he came in the city of the Sovira king only, and he found that there was a temple of Lord Vishnu, very nicely decorated, and the devotees they were taking care of the temple very nicely. And morning many devotees they come, they perform their duties, they worship the Lord very nicely. They offer their flowers, everything, whatever donation or anything that they are supposed to give. They'll give and then they will go daytime for their activities. And there will be like one or two pujaris generally, like even in ISKCON temple also you see. Daytime, you will not find out much people. One or two people will be sitting and they'll be doing their activities and things like that. So in that particular place also, uh, there was one Brahmana actually. This Brahmana was a pure devotee of the Lord. His name was Uttanka. So this Uttanka was sitting there and he was, fully absorbed actually in the worship of Lord Vishnu. And he was meditating and he was chanting the holy name of the Lord. And as he was chanting, this fellow entered in the temple. Now in the temple, nobody else is there. Who is there? Only Uttanka is there, and he sees the deity, the beautiful form of the Lord, decorated with so much of gold, so much of ornament, so much of jewelry and everything. So he thought, there is only one obstacle between me and God. Who is he? Uttanka. This Brahman Uttanka. So he thought, now I'll go and kill him. And generally the Brahmanas or Brahmachari, they are supposed to have Sikha. So he had a very long Sikha. So he went, this hunter went, took his sword and caught hold of his Sikha and about to chop him off. And this Brahmana was actually deeply absorbed in chanting the holy name of the Lord. He did not observe only that somebody had come to kill him and things like that. So he saw that somebody came to kill him actually. When he saw that somebody has come to kill him, then he spoke, "Wait a minute, my dear Maharaj, sir, why you want to kill me?" Then the person said that I want to, loot the money and loot the gold, jewelry, and everything from this particular temple. Then this Brahman Uttanka actually started speaking the philosophy of, the Atma to him. He said that, see, you are doing this particular activity of looting the temple of the Lord, which is the greatest sin that you can perform in your life. For whom you are doing this? Just to maintain your belly? You know, in Hindi people say, papi pet ka sawal hai. Just to maintain your belly, you are doing this thing. Then he said, no, 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 no. All those things are all right. I'm very greedy for wealth and things like that. Then he asked, but why are you so greedy for wealth and things like that? He said that I take these things and when I go and offer to my wife, she becomes very happy with me and she cooks very special items for me and she feeds me. So I do these things for her pleasure and for the pleasure of my children and relatives and everybody. So then he started quoting shlokas from scripture saying that actually a person performs sinful activities just to maintain his family members, relatives, and things like that. But at the end of life, actually, he is the only one who is going to suffer the reaction of his sins, whatever he has done. Immediately got shocked, my lord, I'm going to suffer for the reaction of whatever sins I have done. Then he inquired, what is sin? Because he was a hunter, he was not knowing what is sin, what is not sin, and things like that. Then he started describing, see the way the animals that they feel pain when you pierce their eyes. Similarly, you will also be born many lives without actually, eyes, and in different species, and you will be tortured like anything. All those sufferings are awaiting for you. So this particular person, this Gulika immediately becomes transformed and he falls at the feet of this great Brahman Utanka, and he says that please somehow or other get me relieved of all the sins that I have accumulated. I'll become your disciple and I will just execute actually whatever you say. And this Uttanka Brahman was such a pure devotee of the Lord. He says that if you just have entered in the temple of Lord Vishnu and you have taken the form, darshan of the Lord, you just take darshan of the Lord with full attention and keeping your concentration and mind's energy on the lotus feet of the Lord and just worship Him. By that only all the sins will go away. No external rituals are required and things like that. But still he was insisted that something you should do so that my sins go away and all. Generally in the material world also people they are having too much faith in karma kanda. If you tell them just by chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra all your sins will be gone. They don't have so much faith. But you tell them, okay, we are going to conduct a yagya, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Then they are very excited. Yes, yes, something is going to happen and things like that. So then this Uttanka also what he did, he took the Charanamrit, the water that has washed the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu actually, and in the morning they do Abhishekam. That water he took out and some water he dropped in the mouth of this Gulika, and then some water he sprinkled over his body actually. And this Gulika was so much grateful actually, with so much respect he accepted whatever, the simple offering that was offered by Utanka. Immediately actually there was a chariot that came from the abode of Lord Vishnu actually. And this Uttanka actually developed 400 form actually. And Uttanka fell at the feet of, sorry, this Gulika fell at the feet of Uttanka and he circumambulated him, he circumambulated the temple of Lord Vishnu 3 times. Then he boarded the plane and went back home back to Godhead. And seeing this, even the Brahmana was also surprised. My Lord, the Lord is so merciful, so powerful, and things like that. And he also became more serious in his bhajan. So this is the power of association of a devotee. When we come in the association of devotees, how our life, we have been leading very sinful life, going actually straight forward towards hellish life. The devotee they completely transform our life, and just some time is only waiting where devotees will be having 4 hands. So I remember when 2017 we went for Mayapur Yatra. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj began Yatra with the point that we don't know actually that how much advanced we are when we are performing Krishna consciousness. And Krishna doesn't reveal also that. You know why Krishna doesn't reveal that? Because Krishna reveals that that I'm very advanced, then we'll become very much proud and puffed up and we'll fall down again. So that is why Krishna doesn't reveal to us that how much advanced we are. But know for sure that those devotees who are, attending morning program every day, coming, for darshan of the Lord every day, chanting the holy name of the Lord every day, worshipping the Lord every day, associating with his devotees every day, reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every day, they are really very, very advanced. And there are, demigods, there are devas from other planetary systems also who are striving for the association of such devotees. Just imagine, like, when Prime Minister comes here, everybody goes for a selfie. We want a picture with, PM. Just for his association, entire country is starving. But for the devotees who are attending Mangalarti here, simply, chanting and dancing and things like that, for their association, people not only from this planet, the demigods from this planet, demigods of other planets are also, striving for their association actually. This is such a rare thing actually. So that is why we should not take each other or devotees also very, casually, and we should not take the process of Krishna consciousness also very casually. So this is, the story that I begin with. So now we will come back to the, context of today's discussion. So here in this particular discussion, actually, there is one king called Rahugana, and Bharat Maharaj. He had three lives. Previously, he was a king. His name was Bharat, King Bharat, and he ruled the kingdom actually for many many years. And after ruling the kingdom for many many years, he left the kingdom just to perform austerities and go to forest. So previously, people would go to forest after taking vanaprastha, not to have, not to relax, but to perform serious exclusive devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Exclusive time they would want to give to the Lord actually. So, there was one devotee actually in Pune who came to His Grace Kanaya Thakur and he said, Prabhuji, now I am Vanprastha. And then Kanaya Thakur asked, oh, that's glorious. Where you are staying? He said, I am staying at home. What you are doing? No, just now I retired actually from my, army duties, and I'm relaxing very nicely, and I'm reading newspaper and I'm watching TV and all. So Vanaprastha life is going on very nice. This is not Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means actually one should go to Vana and perform austerities actually. Just as the duty of a brahmachari is patan patan yajan yajan. He should read scriptures, he should teach scriptures. That is the duty of a brahmachari actually. Similarly, the duty of a grahastha is actually to give charity. The duty of Vanaprastha is actually to perform austerities actually. Whatever, uh, the tendencies or the inclinations or impressions that we have during our grahastha life and other previous lives, actually all those tendencies, all those impressions one should get purified of in vanaprastha life by performing austerities. And then sannyas means exclusively only for preaching, like that. So this particular devotee was saying that, I'm doing austerity so that, sorry, I've taken vanaprastha and watching TV and things like that. So this is not the purpose actually vanaprastha is meant for. Retired life is not vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means actually, in current scenario in ISKCON, devotees coming every day for morning program, performing their duties very nicely, chanting 16 rounds very attentively, and giving time exclusively only for the service of the Lord. Like that. So that is actually Vanaprastha life. They need not leave home and go away and stay in some forest and things like that, because now there are no forest also where you will stay and things like that. So King Bharat also left his kingdom and went to the forest for performing austerities. Nevertheless, he came across one deer, and he fell down, or he became very affectionate towards the deer, forgot about his spiritual duties. A lot of lessons are there also, but we are not focusing on that today. Eventually, he died remembering actually the deer. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. If you remember Krishna at the time of death, we will go to Krishna. But if we remember something else, then we'll achieve that same body only actually. So since King Bharat remembered the deer, so he became deer in the next body, next life actually. Like after getting the body of deer, the Lord was very merciful to him. And he recollected actually the memory that he had in the previous life. He performed the austerities and things like that. So he became very serious. He went and stayed near the sages. And in the third life, he was born as actually Jada Bharat, a king, again born in a Brahmana family, but he would behave like a dumb man who doesn't know anything actually. But internally, he was cultivating very serious Krishna consciousness. So one time, actually, what happened? His brothers, they all made him a caricature. caricature, in the fields they keep caricature so that, the birds and the stray animals, they'll think that somebody is standing there, so we should not go there and things like that. So they gave him that job, and they would give him very rotten food and, whatever is the burnt food and things like that. But he was very happy. He was not complaining to anybody and things like that. Eventually, some, the worshippers of Kali, actually, they caught him thinking that we will give a Narbali to Kali, actually, to please her and things like that. And, when they were trying to kill, this Jad Bharat, Kali only appeared and massacred all those people, actually. And then, Jad Bharat just immediately left from there, but that particular place. And he comes across one particular king called Rahugan. So now Jad Bharat was king 3 lifetimes before. Now currently, who is the king? Rahugan. So this Rahugana was a very, pious person. He was going in his, palanquin from his place to the place of uh, Kapila Muni, Kapila Ashram, actually, to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, actually. He was going for a very good cause only, not for some sinful activity and things like that. But on the way, while carrying the palanquin, one of the carrier actually got injured. So they wanted a replacement. So they found out Jad Bharat. He was very happy, very strong and things like that. So they kept him as, as the person who can carry the palanquin. While carrying the palanquin, actually, Jadbharat was little short in the height. At the same time, actually, there were some ants, so he was not wanting to put his feet on the ants. So he was stepping, like this. So the palanquin was going like this and things like that. So then this Rahugan actually becomes very angry and he comes out and speaks very sarcastic words to Jadbharat. And then Jadbharat actually starts speaking actually to him that what you are saying, that this body is not the real carrier actually. The body is just the medium actually for the soul. Immediately, Rahugana got down from his position and he said, "My dear Lord, I think I have committed a sin, great sin by, offending you. Please reveal your identity. Who are you?" and things like that. So that's where then, Rahugana begins with this particular sloka. He says that I'm not afraid of anything else, but I'm afraid of only of Vaishnava Aparadha actually, offending a devotee actually. And then he glorifies the power of association of a devotee. So Jadbharat is saying that Rahugana etat tapasa nayati. Just, what people will not achieve in Satyuga for millions and trillions of lifetimes of austerities, brahmacharya, study of Vedic scriptures, all those things will not be so much efficient as much as the efficiency is there in the power of association of pure devotees actually. So he's saying that Vina Mahatpada Rajobhishekam, one should take bath in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. So what does it mean to take dust bath in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees? That means actually one thing is that literally taking bath in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. And second thing is actually following the instructions of the devotees. The pure devotee, the great devotees, whenever we meet them, actually, we should be eager to get instructions from them and follow in our life. That is called Rajobhishekam. By that, actually, the great favor will be done in the life of a devotee, actually. So, in our life, actually, Prabhupada's instructions are always there. You know, Prabhupada has given us, his books, so we can read his books, derive inspiration from them. Similarly, we can derive inspiration from Prabhupada disciples, disciples of Prabhupada disciples, and from each other also we can derive inspiration. So a pure devotee, a practicing pure devotee, the characteristics are given by Prabhupada here in the purport. He is saying that actually he will not be engaged into materialistic talks. The whole world is actually busy in doing materialistic talks. Day early in the morning, that people get up and they start doing actually their business. They start talking actually on nonsense. Whole world is just speaking nonsense actually, and that's why the world is becoming nonsense. But if we speak Krishna conscious subject matter, actually, we are purifying the world. We are purifying our own existence. We are purifying the world also, actually. So, one time, Bhaktisiddhanta Sarvati Thakur's spiritual master, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he said that actually just because there are some pure devotees in the material world here, Krishna is supplying all the necessities. In case if there are no pure devotees, Krishna won't supply any necessities in the material world. That is why Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in fifth canto only, the greatest service that a devotee can do. You know what is the greatest service? Any guess? Become a pure devotee. That is the greatest service that one can do. Greatest service is not a building temple. Greatest service is not, doing these big, programs, cultivating hundreds and thousands of people into Krishna consciousness and things like that. Greatest service that one can do to oneself and to others is to become a Shuddha Bhakta, a pure, unalloyed devotee of Lord Krishna, actually. So like that. So this is what actually Prabhupada is telling us, that how we can become a pure devotee, or at least a practicing pure devotee, or aspiring to be, practicing pure devotee. The more time we engage actually in service and in Krishna conscious activities, core Krishna conscious activities. Core Krishna conscious activities are what? Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So the 9 activities of devotional service, or the 9 limbs of devotional service. The more we engage in these 9 activities actually, the more actually one gets purified of all the anarthas. Like that. So Vishnu Chakra Thakur, in his commentary in this particular sloka, he says that where one bathes in the dust of their feet, or where there are great devotees, the qualities of the Lord, such as his affectionate nature, are repeatedly glorified. Even those desiring liberation listen. These talks produce more thoughts of Vasudev, the son of Vasudev, without the desire for liberation. So, in the association of devotees, what will happen actually? The devotees will discuss the pastimes of the Lord. Like I'll tell you one particular pastime. This particular pastime actually happened, in Vrindavan, in the meditation of Rupa Goswami. So, these are like the two pastimes. These two pastimes happened. These are the last writings of Rupa Goswami actually in Vrindavan. So in Radha Kund, you all know that is the topmost place. So one day Rupa Goswami was sitting there actually, and when he was sitting there, suddenly actually he saw that actually Lord Krishna has appeared along with all his associates, gopis, Srimati Radharani and things like that. When Krishna appeared with the gopis and things like that, there was a uh, Imli tree, Imli Tal actually. This Imli tree was there. When this Imli tree was there, actually there was one branch on this, and then there was a swing, jhula on that. And then Krishna told to Srimati Radharani that, come, we'll go for swinging. And Radharani was saying that, no, you are a very cunning fellow because you go very high actually. And I'm very fearful of height and things like that. So I won't go with you. So then all the Sakhis and others, they requested that, no, we'll take care that, it doesn't go very high and things like that. But so both of them, they said, the Yugal Kishore, the Yugal couple, the divine couple, actually, they said. And Krishna was just, talking and things like that. Meanwhile, suddenly he started increasing the speed. And it went out of the control of the other gopis also who were standing beside. And Krishna was going very high. At one point of time, it was appearing that, swing will go 360-degree only, actually. So knowing that actually Srimati Radharani caught one side actually, the Jhula very tightly and one side Krishna very tightly, and the Jhula really went actually 360-degree. And then suddenly, when it went like this, actually the branch of the tree actually got completely tilted actually. It bent like this actually. So that time Rupa Goswami came out of his meditation and he was lamenting, oh, why the Lord's form actually disappeared from my eyes and things like that. So he saw that actually the Lord is there. Sorry, the Jhula is there, the tree is also there, but the Lord and his associates are only not there. And he was lamenting like anything. So, Vishnu Thakur explains in this particular regard that why we have to hear this pastime. So, this particular pastime reveals that actually all these pastimes are still happening in Vrindavan. Only thing is that we are not able to see them. Why? Because we have not developed that much devotion to the Lord yet. So our aspiration by hearing these pastimes should be, become more and more pure and perform devotional service in such a way that actually one day we can also see the pastimes of the Lord and we can also participate or we can also serve the Lord. So there is absolute platform on which we serve the Lord as being servant of servant in our ultimate final, realized position. And then now the current position that is there, that is also absolute service because that is also service to the Lord only. So of course we are not on that level that the Lord will reveal and his pastimes will be revealed to us. But his pastimes are revealed to us by the mercy of the devotees in our lives. The same instruction that we will get directly from Krishna to serve him, we will get those instructions actually by the mercy of spiritual master, the mercy of the representatives of the spiritual masters in our lives. And the same pastimes will be revealed in our hearts also. The devotee, more he engages pure devotional service, in pure devotional services, more he will be enlivened and he will be so happy, to share Krishna consciousness with others, such that in such a way that actually others will feel that bhakti mein कुछ तो है इधर कुछ तो रस है इधर and things like that actually. So that is what actually we should be aspiring for. At the same time, there are dangers also. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns us. So somebody has mic, can you read loudly? Kripa Kapoor, can you read loudly? No problem.
Danger of disregarding worship of devotees. If we become arrogant after having adopted the path of devotion, if we worship only God and disregard the worship of his devotees, then we will be subjected to aversion for the principle of devotion itself. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
So there are people who say that I will worship only Krishna and not devotees. Who are devotees in between? They are coming and simply, creating trouble and things like that. So the devotees are actually like a bridge between us and Krishna. They are not an obstacle between us and Krishna. Many times our conditioned mind thinks that actually the devotee, they are putting so many hindrances in our practice of Krishna consciousness and things like that. They are purifying my ego. They are having so much of conditioning, this, that, neophytes and all like that. But rather one should understand that actually they are the bridge. They are not obstacle actually in performance of our Krishna consciousness. So Sajjana versus Durjana Sangha. There is no relationship for us other than with the devotee of Vishnu. Relationship with other persons can only aggravate the desire for sense gratification. So the more we associate with materialistic people, more material desires we get. And Prabhupada says, for one material desire we have to take at least one birth. And in that birth, how many more material desires you will get? Unlimited. And for each one of those desires, unlimited number of births. Just imagine how many births we are going to get just by associating with materialistic people. How dangerous it is. Correct or no? That is why it is recommended that we should associate with devotees who are very serious in Krishna consciousness actually. Who are performing Krishna consciousness also very seriously. So a devotee in his consciousness, he thinks that whatever I am doing, actually I am not qualified. It is all by the mercy of the other devotee that I'm getting this opportunity to serve devotees. I'm getting this opportunity to serve the Lord. I'm getting this opportunity to serve the world actually. Why? Because of their causeless mercy. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, if the conviction of our unfitness for the service of God is revealed to us either automatically or by the instructions of other persons. So sometimes we feel like that, Prabhuji, I'm not qualified actually to perform devotional service and things like that. Sometimes ourselves we feel, sometimes some devotees they come and they purify our ego and thoroughly we become humbled. Then we understand that yes, I'm really not qualified. So Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, by either means, you realize that actually you are not qualified to perform devotional service. We are only then in a position to appreciate the beauty of the lotus feet of Lord's devotees. Like the other day, actually, I was sitting here. One devotee came, from temple and giving lecture. And while speaking, he said that, congratulations for this beautiful temple and things like that. And then, one devotee said, he pointed a finger towards me. And that devotee said, no, 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 no. Actually, sometime the dog thinks that actually the bullock cart is being pulled by me. you know or sometime when the donkey is carrying, and behind actually in the donkey there is a cart. On the cart the form of the Lord is kept, Vitthal Dev or somebody is kept. Many people come and they pay obeisances, and the donkey starts thinking, people are offering obeisances to whom? Me. So that is very dangerous actually. If you just remove that actually cart, then the no donkey people will just throw stones on you, or people will just actually give stick actually to the donkey. So that cart, or that form of the Lord, is actually Krishna consciousness that is being gifted to us by Śrīla Prabhupada and his representative. So one should always remember that actually whenever people are offering obeisances, glorification, as appreciation or anything, they are not offering to me. I am like the donkey only, but they are offering to that cart or the form of the Lord actually. So one will not be unnecessarily proud of or become puffed of. So this is very dangerous. So if we think that I am not qualified seriously from the core of our heart, then actually the revelation of the Lord will take place. So just to conclude, now time is already 8:21. Just to conclude, in the beginning we discussed actually the story of Gulika and Uttanka. The Gulika was the hunter and Uttanka was the Brahman. There we discussed actually the power of association of devotees. Then we discussed actually in summary about King Jada Bharat, that how Jada Bharat he was glorifying the association of devotees, and now he is telling actually that without the instructions or without Rajobhishekam of pure devotees, one may do austerities, one may take lot of vratas, one may follow even celibacy or brahmacharya, one may go to forest and do take vanaprastha or anything. By none of these things actually we are going to get purified. Only by following the instructions of a pure devotee we are going to get purified in our life. Apart from that, there is no other way actually. Then we discussed that what are the characteristics of a practicing pure devotee. A practicing pure devotee will engage exclusively in Krishna consciousness only and nothing else actually. Then we saw that actually what is the danger of engaging in material associating with materialistic people, because with one material desire we are going to get at least one body, and within that body how many bodies we are going to get we don't know, like that. So it is unlimited actually. So that is why association of devotees or association of sincere devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness very sincerely, that is very important. While practicing that, there is a danger that one may become puffed off, one may become proud. So there we saw that actually how Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is warning us that one should not become unnecessarily proud or puffed up of whatever little practice he is doing. One should understand that actually all these things, whatever appreciation, glorification, or the credits that one is getting actually for the service that he is doing, is by the mercy of the Lord, and it actually belongs to them only, not us. So we are like the donkeys only who is carrying actually the form of the Lord actually. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. Any questions or comments? We have 5 minutes. Any questions any of you have? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So you were saying that we should engage ourselves in Navadina Bhakti. So which also includes Sakya. So how do we engage ourselves in Sakya? It is, I'm not saying that one should engage in all 9 simultaneously. If we engage actually in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, fine, not a problem. We can engage in all 9. So in our stage, what Prabhupada has recommended for us is we engage in the service of the Lord as Dasya. Whatever other services that we do, we offer prayers. That also is in the mood of being a servant. And we take care of the Lord, we take care of the deities, we worship the deities, just as a friend actually takes care of his other friend. He's very much worried about the details that actually the other friend needs. So similarly, we should be also worried about the Lord, that the offering is done actually on the time for the Lord, the deity wake up is done on the time for the Lord, and the Lord is decorated very nicely, and the Lord is dressed very nicely, the flower garlands are put on the Lord very nicely. That itself is like sakyam for us. We need not go to some very high standard and things like that. That is what I feel like. And more things you can inquire from Vijay or Prashant Prabhu if you want to add something. One devotee asked Prabhupada, we have 9 forms of devotional service and different relationship with the Lord. Devotees worship the Lord in the form of as lover, as friend, as you know uh, master and things like that. What about spiritual master? Prabhupada said there is only one relationship with the spiritual master. Never think that you can have Madhurya Bhav with the spiritual master and things like that. There is only one rasa with the spiritual master. What is that? Dasyam. Actually, people have misinterpreted these things. There is a group of Saki Bekis who say that actually one can worship his spiritual master in Madhurya Bhav. And the so-called spiritual master does actually all nonsense with the disciples and things like that. So all this is very dangerous. So that is why we are very safe by following the instructions of Śrīla Prabhupada. I hope that answers. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Shantu, you want to add something? Hare Krishna. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll have Guru Puja. They were asking if you saying we should associate with sincere devotees. So sincere, serious, and with free from ulterior motives. These are the three things that one can try to see in the life of devotees. Sincere means actually basically he is not having ulterior motives. Whenever he is performing devotional service or whatever devotional service he is performing, at least he is exclusively engaged in the service of the Lord and not service of his own mind and senses. Many times we become attached to our own mind and senses, but if we become attached to the service of the Lord, then we will not be becoming attached to our own concoctions. Like I myself have seen so many times, like His Grace Vajra Krishna Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, and even Maharaj and others. Maharaj, not so much personal interaction, but Radhesham Prabhu and Vajra Krishna Prabhu, so many times interactions. Whenever we are doing, let's say, some common service, they'll ask some suggestions. Even if I give some suggestions, sometimes they accept, some many times they reject also. And whenever they accept, that inside that feeling comes, yes, we did it and things like that. But then eventually we'll get purified. So even they are in that position, of so senior, so many more than my life, they have performed devotional service. But still they accept actually the simple suggestion that is being given by me, so that actually the service of the Lord will not get hampered actually many times. So we can understand by this that actually the seniors, they are actually exclusively wanting to engage only in the service of the Lord. That is the meaning of sincere. Sincere means actually what I understand is actually he is not putting his ego between him and service. So when you put ego, that time what we say, think that actually my way is only highway. Whatever I think, that is only best way to serve. But when we are sincere enough, then actually the Lord will reveal that actually there are other younger devotees who can give better ideas than us also to serve the Lord. So that is one thing. Another thing that we can understand, that they are engaged exclusively in the service of the Lord without wasting time in materialistic things. So we should engage, with those devotees. And you will see that actually when you talk to those devotees also, even if you are talking some materialistic things or material things also, eventually they'll bring Krishna consciousness into picture. Like that Prabhupada was, discussing one time with this, what is that? F1 cars, right? That race car, what is that called? F1 cars, right? So you are discussing, asking, okay, what is the speed, what is the rotation, how big is the tire, this, that, and everything. All those details you are discussing and things like that. And then finally Prabhupada ended with that Krishna is much more surprising than all these things. People have to do so much of background work. Krishna does just have to desire, and all these things will manifest. So who is more powerful? Krishna is more powerful, or these F1 car generators, they are more powerful and things like that. So Prabhupada will begin, even somebody is beginning these things, these kind of discussions. So Prabhupada will end with Krishna conscious topics only. So sincere means one should know first of all that actually I want to have only Krishna and nothing else. I came here actually to have Krishna in my life and nothing else. But eventually, when we are performing Krishna consciousness, ego comes. Name, fame, glories, all these things will come into picture. And one gets carried away by those things. The person who is getting carried away by them, we should not become their follower. Rather, we should become follower of a devotee who is sincerely wanting to serve. And the biggest person who is getting carried away by these ulterior things is our own mind only. So one should know for sure that I am not sincere, first of all. There are other devotees who are better than me, who are sincere than me. So I'll follow their instructions and I'll try to associate with them to perform Krishna consciousness that way. Just imagine, suppose you go home. How many days you will continue chanting 16 rounds early in the morning, 4:30, and have 6 hours to come? Power of association of devotees only. Like we went to, this Vrindavan Yatra. I saw many devotees missing morning program and directly starting chanting and not having 6 hours to come at all only. For those 7 or 8 days when they were there in Vrindavan, I inquired also from some of the devotees that Prabhu, did you chant 6 hours to come? हाँ Prabhu, 6 hours to come तो आज मिस हो गया ये हो गया वो हो गया. But if we are sincere enough, then we will want to make sure that each limb of our devotional service, whatever we are performing, we are doing it actually attentively. But if we are doing mechanically only just to do show off and things like that, then in the association of devotees, at least we should do it. That is also great thing or good thing, at least in the association of devotees we are doing. But even when we are not in the association of devotees, those devotees who are seriously performing Krishna consciousness, try to take their association and accept their instructions and try to follow that thing. That helps actually one to become serious in Krishna consciousness. So sincere is a very subject matter. I myself am not sincere. You are very sincere, I know. So you inquire more from Vajra Krishna Pur and do more, exclusive devotional service. That is the only solution for all those things. Hare Krishna. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. First we'll have Guru Puja, then we'll have Dhamapustakam.